this is the AMG for the elderly, because look at that massive turbo right there. Fake carbon fiber, and the fakest of fake carbon fiber. Here we go. What's up guys, welcome to this POV review by AutoTopNL. My name is Martin and today I'm taking a look at this all new Mercedes AMG GLA 45S 4Matic Plus. Are you still with me? I'm glad. Okay, this is the AMG for the elderly because, hey, this is the third 45S of the new gen. We had the A45, the CLA 45, and this GLA 45 is the latest edition. These are like brothers because the A45 is like, I'm the sporty brother and I'm the fastest, and the CLA is like, I'm the handsome brother that goes to business school, and this is the somewhat boring fat brother, I think. What's the purpose of this car? That's for me to find out today. Okay, so yes, it's a bit more spacious, it's more high up, it's better suited for children, as you can see. Rear space is not that bad actually. Can we fit some stuff in there? Yes, we can. We've got a trunk, we've got our tripod. All good so far. So yeah, it does offer a bit more space and practicality than its two sportier brothers. So let's talk about the recipe. The GLA, let's be honest, the GLA is for people who have always liked Mercedes, now have a bit of money, maybe have stopped working and have some money to spend, and these people are the ones that go for the GLA. Now, this AMG version, is that for the same kind of people? I'm not too sure. Maybe this is for like young families with a sporty dad. But hey, you could also go for the CLA shooting brake 45S because it offers that practicality as well. I don't think it looks cool or funky or aggressive. It's a bit of a letdown to me because the previous GLA 45 I actually quite liked. You see them driving around with that big ass WRC spoiler. You can get that spoiler for this car as well, but hey, Mercedes decided not to fit it on this demo car, but I'll show you what it looks like. Let's have a look at those wheels, because these are, can you believe it, 21-inch wheels on a GLA, AMG wheels, massive brake set behind that, AMG calipers in red. Thankfully, they decided not to put a fake center lock cap on here. Oh man, they are starting to listen at AMG, thankfully. Now let's have a look at the engine, because that's something really, really special. The most powerful 4-cylinder engine in the world. In this GLA. Now look at that massive turbo right there. This is the M139 2-liter turbo. Now this is a full-blown AMG engine built in Affalterbach. It's actually handcrafted by Stefan Heikenwälder. Now Stefan has done a great job, because if you go for one of the 35 AMGs, that's not an AMG engine, that's a 250 that has been tuned a bit by AMG. So reason enough to go for this, because this is quite special. The GLA 45 has 387 horsepower and 480 newton meters from a 2-liter turbo. Can you believe it? I mean, the previous one had 360 horsepower at launch, then it got 381 at the update, and now we're at 389. But this is the S version, and then you get even more power. 421 horsepower, and that's because that turbo in non-S spec is doing 1.9 bars, which is absolutely insanely high for a stock engine. But the S version 2.1 bars. That thing is running at 2.1 bars. That's an insane amount of boost for this engine. It does come with its downsides, but we'll talk about that with the driving. Let's close this up. And let me know, guys, what do you think about this GLA 45? Do you like the inconspicuous look, or do you think it should have been a bit more muscular? By the way, if you like cool stuff like this AMG, go check out ignitioncollection.com for some awesome limited edition Swiss made watches, and they are much more affordable than you think. Use code AutoTopNL for a 10% discount. Okay, let's get in and let's have a look at the interior. Now we've got a beautiful AMG steering wheel. I mean, this thing, let me start it up, looks awesome. Just have a look at those aluminium accents. This Monotino right here, can't call it that. You can switch to between all the different driving modes, and if you push it you go to individual mode. Now you have these two hotkeys to change the transmission to manual or the traction control to sport mode or completely off, but it can also go for start stop, AMG dynamics, the suspension, the exhaust. This is so cool and so nice to use while driving, because even though you're in sport mode or in race mode, you want to switch between different ESP modes and gearbox settings, so that's really convenient. We've got an Alcantara finishing for the steering wheel and a 12 o'clock marker in yellow. Now we have the typical A-Class CLA interior. It's not that different from those other cars, but that's not a big issue because it looks absolutely gorgeous, except for the fact that, and this is really hard for me to tell you guys, we've got fucking fake carbon fiber, and the fakest of fake carbon fiber. This is absolutely unacceptable in an AMG. Come on, guys, what are you thinking? We've got fake exhaust at Mercedes, we've got fake center caps at AMG, and now we also have fake carbon fiber at AMG. That should be unacceptable. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Really had to do that. Now you might think, why is that seatbelt in there? Is it for his imaginary friend? No, it's because I'll show you why. Let's get driving. Got a nice road, so I'm going to race mode and turn the ESP into sport mode, sporty mode. Hey, that's annoying. The seat belt, the metal of the seat belt keeps hitting the special AMG sport seats, and they have like a very hard sidewall. Oh, got a great bang from the exhaust. Oh. You can really feel the 4Matic Plus system pulling you through the corners, giving you some rear wheel biased power when you're exiting the corner and the front axle claws onto the road, making sure you don't really over or understeer. Now the GLA is 140 kilos heavier than the A-Class, and you do notice that because the A45S is a weapon on a road like this, but this is noticeably less capable. It is very capable and very fast, but Okay, that's going to drive you mad if you buy one of these. Maybe not go for these AMG super sporty seats because they are super expensive as well. Just have a look at the AMG configurator. Now, when I say A45 and CLA 45, it takes about 5 minutes before people start talking about drift mode. Now, this being the AMG for the elderly, they ditched drift mode. So this doesn't have drift mode. Now, is that a problem? Nah, I don't think so. No one who's interested in this particular car will be interested in drift mode, I think. Now, when you're on it, this drivetrain is really, really incredible. You can really feel the aggression of it. I mean, this thing, as I said, 2.1 bars of turbo pressure. That makes for such an aggressive engine. And when you're on it, like I am now, that's absolutely delicious. But when you're just driving around town, this drivetrain can feel a bit nervous, I have to admit. It always needs to change gear. It always needs a bit of a moment to boost that turbo. Oh. But hey, this being the AMG S, let's focus on this stuff. Because my god, it's good at doing this. It's a bit wet, it's a bit springy, with some wet leaves on the road. But this thing just copes with it like nothing else. I mean, this is the first time I'm driving on a road like this with this car, and I am sort of liking it more than I did like 20 minutes ago, because Jesus Christ, the performance is really strong. Even though I could not hit the claimed 0 to 100 time of 4.3 seconds. The non-S does 4.4. I got 4.6. So that's a bit disappointing. You do get a very entertaining and aggressive launch control. Just put the car into non-manual for the gearbox. I like ESP to be in sport mode, and just floor it with some braking, with some left foot braking. Here we go. Oh, that upshift. Man, that's fast. Now the sound from the outside, it's not all that impressive because, yeah, we've got all these EU regulations nowadays and they won't let AMG do their magic. So you do get a nice sound on the upshift inside the car, and I always think interior sound, it's more important than exterior sound, because you can have a lot of fun without people calling the police. And I mean, this car is about the occupant, not about the people on the side of the road. Maybe the older AMGs were more for the audience than the participant, but that has changed quite a lot. AMGs have become much more driver-involved cars and much less about the hooligan, smoke, sound. And I have to admit, this 45 drivetrain is super impressive. I would have liked it to be in the GLB as well though, because we have driven the GLB 35, but they don't offer a 45 or 45S in the GLB, and I loved the GLB. Absolutely loved it. Much more than I do the GLA, but I wish they put this engine in that. Then I would totally go for a GLB 45. I really would. Because that car knows what it is. It's a mini GLS and it does everything to like mimic one. And it has the same kind of suspension setup. It offers comfort. It wants to be a big lumpy SUV and it looks like it. Now this thing wants to be a super sporty Nürburgring killer and a mini SUV as well. And it's like stuck in between somewhere, and that's the problem I have with this car. It's not super good at anything and not really bad at anything. It's quite hard to praise it for a specific quality. So unfortunately the weather gods have decided for me that we are not going to do Autobahn stuff today in the review. Thankfully I recorded my Autobahn footage before this review. So go and watch this video if you want to see this car hit the Autobahn at its true top speed. And go watch this POV review playlist if you want to see more reviews, and subscribe by clicking here. Thanks guys!